Hello, Facebook, YouTube. Guess what, y'all? Guess what, y'all? Y'all never are going to guess it in a million years. I bet y'all won't guess it. Probably won't guess it. Yes, that's right. Mac Johnson has a chant. Mac has 2 chants, really 3 chants, working on another one. I like this chant and I like the next chant that I'm working on. It's so serious. But this chant here is so serious too. All right, Mac Johnson was just meditating on, I was meditating on what Peter said in Acts 5:27 or 29. Where he said that, I think it's 29, obey God. We ought to obey God rather than men. I was meditating on that. We ought to obey God rather than men. And I saw that OG right there, obey God. And I was like, hey, I got an idea, And this whole ideal is, of course, Christians should, and I post on my Facebook is, Christians should aim to be an OG, something like that, OG Christians. And it's just Christians that obey God, Obey God. That's what Peter commanded us Christians. Obey God rather than man is what inspired this chant. So I like this chant. This chant is smooth, laid back, and you just, groove to it, So I hope you learn to do it. I hope it, because it's really smooth, it's really tight, it's really good. All right, so 3H Nation, are you ready to be inspired to be an OG that obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, and live holy? All right, I'm going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm about being the OG, serving the Lord and living for his glory. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. I'm about being the OG, serving the Lord and living for his glory. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. I'm about being the OG, serving the Lord and living for his glory. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. I'm about being the OG, serving the Lord and living for his glory. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. When God say love, you love. When God say trust him, obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. When God say pray, you pray. When God say have faith, obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. When God said forgive, cause Jesus Christ's blood can heal. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. I'm about being the OG, serving the Lord and living for his glory. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. I'm about being the OG, serving the Lord and living for his glory. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. If God say love, you love. God said trust him, obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. If God say pray, you pray. If God say have faith, obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. God say forgive, because Jesus Christ's blood can heal. Obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, live holy. Obey God, obey God, obey God, with all your heart. Obey God, obey God, obey God, with all your soul. Obey God, obey God, obey God, with all your mind. That's how it is being an OG. That's how it is being an OG. Obey God, obey God, obey God with all your heart. Obey God, obey God, obey God with all your soul. Obey God, obey God, obey God with all your mind. That's how it is being an OG. That's how it is being an OG. I'm a living as an OG. That's how it is being an OG. I'm living my life like an OG. I'm living my life like an OG. I'm living my life. I'm living my life. I'm living my life like an OG. I'm living my life like an OG. I'm living my life like an OG. I'm living my life. I'm living my life. I'm living my life like an OG. G, 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 G. Woo! Woo! That's the chant. Hope you like it. Hope you love it. Hope you dig it. Hope you learn it. Serious, serious, serious. I love it. I'm about being an OG, and I hope y'all know what an OG is. They obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, and live holy. That's an OG. You know what I'm saying? That's what we aim a goal to do. What Pete said, you know, he ought to obey God rather than man. That's a statement of Christians, man, he made right there. That we need to be about that statement concerning giving God the glory and honor and praise each and every day to learn to obey God. But you can't obey God in the flesh. You only can obey God not by power, nor by might, but by the Spirit of the Lord. Develop the Spirit of God inside you that will give you the ability to obey God. Because when Jesus came there, Jesus told the disciples, for the Spirit is willing to obey God, but the flesh is weak to disobey God. We must do it by the Spirit to obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, and live holy, only by the Spirit of God. So that's what it is all about. So be about that Spirit. You know, John 3:30, decreasing and increasing of Him is what about truly living holy. You know what I'm saying? And operating by the Spirit of and eating the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, gentleness, long-suffering, meekness, temperance, faith, can give you the ability to nourish the Spirit to obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, and live holy. You know what I'm saying? And it's Jesus, God said God is spirit, and they shall worship Him, must worship Him in spirit and in truth, that you can obey God, obey God, obey God, obey God, and live holy. I'm having fun with this obey God, y'all. All right, 3H Nation, 199.5 is straight garbage. Hope you give God all the praise and being about obeying God, obeying God, obeying God, obeying God, and live holy. All right, God bless y'all. That's the message and that's the chant. To God be the glory here forever and ever. In Jesus' name, amen.